Welcome to the next installment of, I don't know, whatever you want to call the show. So what we're going to do now, though, is we're going to plan my week. I'm going to walk you through my bullet journal. I'm going to show you the supplies I use. If you care about that, they're just the supplies I use. Use whatever you want, really. I'm going to walk you through the method that I use to plan out my week with my weekly blocking, my weekly spread, and then how I think about it and how I go through it. Right, you're going to see that I start with my outside commitments because once I have my outside commitments, I actually know how much time I can spend doing other things like actually work, I suppose. And I'm going to walk you through it. I'm going to talk you right through my exact week. I actually did this just before, but I literally planned my next week with you watching. Enjoy. Welcome. So like I said, what we're going to do right now is we're going to go over how I do my time blocking for my week to get my week organized. What I'm going to use is I like this Sharpie pen, and I have a set of, I don't know how you say this, Staedtler fine liner, Tri-Plus fine liners. If you search Tri-Plus fine liners, you'll find them. And then what you can't see, I have a ruler, just a generic 6-inch ruler that I got from Staples in Canada. Now what you can't see is my calendar on my iPad right there. And I've got that. So what I start with is I start by looking at what next Monday is. So next Monday is the 19th, which means I'm going to start by writing 19, 11, 18. I give myself about 12 blocks. 10, we'll call it 10. I don't get too specific about this part, I just do it. And even the next one, I just kind of, yeah, that looks good. 21 is the Wednesday, 11, 18, I'm on the next one, so that's 22, 11, 18. 23, 11, 18, 24, 11, 18. Okay, so now I've started my top of my grid, and now I need to do the next chunk of it, which is the side. And so I start my day sort of at 6, sometimes before, but 6, so I go 6. And I like 24-hour time, so that's what I put in. Now I'll count about 5. 1, 6, and so that's 9:09. So I divide it into 3-hour blocks. 12. 15. 18. So now I have my grid can get set up. So I'm going to do that and always leave one blank below the 1800 because, I don't know, it looks better, I guess. I've got my ruler out. I'm going to just draw my lines to start. And then for Sunday over here, I simply just put in the next wherever it works. So 25, 11, 18. Draw a top line quickly. Next up is doing a little bit of a mark so that I know where my time blocks are. So I'm just going to go at 9, I put a little tick. At 12, I put a little tick. 15, I put a little tick. That's it. And now I can come back over here easily and write in my 600, 900, 1200, 15, 18, again, make my ticks quickly. So now I have the basis with which to start my, my week plan. Now there's a few things that I already know, so I'll start with those. This is where I grab my colors. Grab my red fine liner, and I know that I have, or somebody has, skating on Monday and skating on Tuesday. Skating on Wednesday. And skating on Thursday. And gymnastics on Friday. I also know that my wife teaches skating from 10 to 1300. So skate. So this is the time with which I actually have to work because there are outside commitments with the family that I just have to be at or I have to watch kids during. Next step is always to put in my runs. And so I'll do this on the Monday. I'll put in a run. Actually run in this 3-hour block. And then my wife runs in this one. So I put that in for her. So I need to be there for her then, or I need to watch the kids then. Thursdays I run, and sometimes I run with a group. Sometimes I run myself, so I'll block that out. So now I know when my runs are. Next up is to book my appointments. So I know that every Friday at 11 o'clock, I meet with my mentoring group that I lead. If you want to join that, you can reach out to me, curtis@curtismchale.ca, or leave a comment in the video and I will give you the information you need to have for that. I also know next week at noon, I meet with Jason. So those are my appointments for the week. That's it. I might have, I'm not going to write this down, but I might have one, maybe during gymnastics actually, with my friend Sherman. So we will see about that. So now what I have is the bounds for my week. Those are the only colors I use, but I have the bounds for my week. Next I need to figure out, and actually no, Thursday, so this is one thing I always do, because Thursday is my blog posts, my podcasts, so I know that. And then Tuesdays is I always have a retainer client that I do work for Tuesday mornings. I know Mondays I read and write a book review. And then Monday afternoon I do a video script. And I make sure my podcast scripts are ready so that I can get any footage I might need. So this is what my week is going to look like. Now I also need to go back to my monthly spread, and I'll talk about this at some point in the future, and look what I have here. So here I have people I need to follow up with, and I need to, on the 22nd, link to a book review, and I have some blog posts to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in some notes here. So I'm going to go under here. I always do it on this side for no reason, I suppose. Follow up. The lit names there were Theron, Brian Pierce, and Tan. That's my follow-up right now, Tan. So I've moved those. I'm going to, I think this is the right bullet journal mark. I've just started to use them more. I usually just put a dash. You can see over here, I've just done a dash through them all. So that's what I do. So next, I'm going to think about my own projects. So I know for my internal projects, I am launching the Freelancer's Guide, FGGS, so I need to record and edit it. So because I got little kids, I know that's gonna have to happen extra early. So this is what I'm gonna do before 6 o'clock. FGGS, 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 and then maybe on Friday. My wife usually runs early on Friday, and I'm going to do, and I'm going to get down here before the kids get up to record on Friday. My day really on Friday doesn't start till 9. I take kids to school in this block. I get up and read sometimes, and that's about it. So this is what I've got to do. Now I also need to look back, and I've got, how many? I've got 1, 2, 3 writing projects. So the first one I'm going to write down is liquid. These are kind of self-imposed deadlines, so I'm going to go, because it's an event, it's time-based. The 23rd, I've got, you want to freelance. This is the name of an article. And 23rd, I've also got Gutenberg WooCommerce. Guten and Woo. So I also know that for the suite setup. Again, self-imposed deadline. I'm writing about Filmic Pro, which is incidentally what I'm using to record this and using another iPad as a monitor for as well. So I know that. Now for Ronald, I know that I need to finish off his staging site. And video deploy flow. So that I can video it for him so that he knows how to use this as well. And I have one other client that wasn't in that list because it's a big project I'm working on for a while, and that's Pubs, and they are send email, which means I need to compile with string replace. I know that's not the proper function name, and then I need to send with Lyris, which is their email program. So now I've got my week planned out. I know that this Ronald is going to go in here, but the other things that I don't have in here is I've got recording in the mornings. We'll see if I can get through my recording, then I'll switch those to edits as I go. And I need my follow-up. I know I do my follow-ups on Tuesday. This 2-hour block right here is kind of wasted because I gotta be done at 3 anyways. So I will do follow-ups in there. All right. Follow up. And I usually just read or do something else. So I'm pushing things forward, but I am not worrying so much about big client work because I just can't do it. That would be another, I could edit a podcast in that window just fine as well. So up here, I am going to read for myself. I try to do reading most days if I can. And I'm going to write for Liquid, and I'm going to write for TSS. That's those two taken care of. And then I'm going to do Prov right there, and that's going to give them the rest of that time. I'm going to do Prov right there, and that's going to give them the rest of that time as well. Now, I know on Tuesday morning as well with Ronald, I will most likely tap out on my hours. In fact, I'm already a little over hours from a retainer on the month. So I will use this, and I'll actually maybe just go like this and do a question mark. This will also be Prov time, likely. So I want to get the staging site finished and protected properly for him, and then let him know about that. That's the big task. Once that's done, I can kind of say we're done for the week. Now, what does this leave me with? This leaves me with my plan for the week. And so what I do during the week is I will actually flip back to this regularly and see what's up, right? I'm gonna double check right now to make sure I don't have any other time-based thing. Oh, the 22nd, I need to put that in. So that might even get its own heading. I just go here, 22. And that was, so those got moved. TSS got moved. Transaction, link traction to resource. It's a book review I did, and I need to link it to its resource in my resources section. So if you went to curtismchale.ca/resources, you'll see a searchable list of all the resources that I've done over the time. That's really it. This is the plan that I operate off of. Actually, you know what I didn't do? I didn't do over here is more skating. So more skating on Saturday at 9:15. So now I've got this planned. We're ready to go. I think my wife might be out that afternoon, but I'll have to double check. And so this is something that I'll double check over the weekend as well. When I talk with my wife, we'll look at our plan for the week and we'll decide, like I'll look with her again and find out that this might be in here. And if I've got my notebook right handy, I'll just write it in so that I know where she's going to be. And then clearly I'm with our children then. And any other adjustments that need to get made, right? Sometimes there's a hair appointment that needs to happen here, and then I would actually adjust the whole schedule. If it's just a minor adjustment, then I wouldn't worry about it. If it's a big adjustment, then I might rewrite the whole thing. That's it. that's how I do my planning for my week, for really all of my work. You can see my whole week is planned in this now. I will continue to refer to this as I go. I will continue to do my daily planning as I go, keep coming back. And again, as I, if I do my follow-up, I usually just leave my follow-up here. I do it and I just exit off as I go. At the end of the week though, I double check. So I did this actually last night. I double checked and sent some follow-ups and scheduled them to go out this morning for other people. If you have any questions, I'd love to hear them. Hope you liked it. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. Let me know what you liked, what you didn't like. Just let me know anything. If you have any questions about how else I do it, how do I use my bullet journal day to day, anything like that. I've got a bunch more that I've actually already recorded with paper planning and bullet journal planning, so you'll see that. My migration at the end of the day, everything like that. Just below, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, let me know what else you want to see. Anything from, again, just being productive from software to everything else, how I'm productive with my iPad. Let me know. I'd love to do it.